finish up with yesterday's lab. So what I want you to do is go back to your lab group where you were, and I'm going to pass back the syringes. And what we're going to do is we're going to put, I want you guys to turn on the light, put the syringe underneath, and we're going to kind of lecture from the lab tables. So what I want you to do when you go back there, okay, not yet. When you go back there, bring a piece of paper and a pencil because you're going to be taking lecture notes. Okay, kind of a dense video, but the key information is we're going to talk about chloroplasts and energy. So let me ask you, where do plants get their food to grow? Water?
Sun. Carbon.
Sun? Where do they get it from? From the air, right? Or earth, or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of times I always thought that plants actually grew from just the roots only, right? So it's actually the carbon dioxide in the air is what creates photosynthesis. So we're going to go over this today. So I want you guys to quiet down. Just give me a few minutes. You guys can chat it up. And then we're going to go over kind of like some key words I need you guys to pay attention to, okay? So today we're going to learn how green plants do not absorb food from the soil, and how green plants use carbon dioxide and water to produce their food, and we're going to talk about what is actually photosynthesis. So you guys really need to get this down today, okay? So the key question is, where do plants get their food to be able to grow? And are plants living or not living? Who can answer that last one? Are plants living or not living?
Living.
Living. What's living?
They're made up of cells.
They're made up of cells.
Breathing.
Breathing.
Do you write that?
There's like active transport. We just learned about osmosis and stuff like that. So there's things going on. So it's actually a living species.
Yeah.
So plants make their own food. They make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. You need to write that down. Photosynthesis. The way plants make food from sunlight. That's a key line you need to know for your exam. How's the experiment going? Are any discs floating on you guys yet?
No.
Okay. You guys keep your time, right? There. Sweet. Good job. So,
Wait.
photosynthesis. The way plants make food from sunlight. So in this experiment, what are we representing sunlight?
The light.
The light. Good job. That was an easy one. Alright. So photosynthesis. What I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to the letters in red. Those are going to be on your exam. You just have to know those general concepts. So photosynthesis, a chemical reaction which occurs in every green plant. So what I want you to do is write photosynthesis, chemical reaction. The next line is produces food in the form of glucose. So when you get sunlight and carbon dioxide and water, it forms this thing called glucose. The plants end up using glucose to do what? To use the food to grow. You guys got it. Right on. And all this happens in all the green bits, especially the leaves. So how plants grow to get their food is in the leaves. And what are those little green dots and stuff inside of a cell that does where photosynthesis takes place? Chloroplasts.
Water, like, you can do different experiments with water and light, how much light something has.
Water, light, what's another thing you think?
Maybe if you put it in somewhere where it doesn't have as much oxygen.
So carbon, so without carbon dioxide maybe? Okay, so let's take a look at this. That's totally right. So if a plant doesn't have enough of one of these things, it's restricted and it cannot perform any photosynthesis. So things that restrict them are called limiting factors. So good job, Oscar. That was really good. All right, so what are some of them? Let's talk about the first one, light. limiting factors is all you need to get. Don't have to copy everything, just copy the red lettering, that's what's most important. So the first one is light. Check out this light. If there's not enough light, then the rate of photosynthesis is affected. Is that what you think might have happened yesterday with our experiment?
Yeah.
It totally was. Because the syringe wasn't that close to the light, and at the same time, the wattage of the light bulb, the distance of the light to the syringe, that's what happened. That's why a lot of us didn't get things done. So the thing is also, for instance, that light bulb is the highest watt light bulb of all light bulbs in this experiment. So there's another reason why that syringe over there is much too quick. So basically, rate of photosynthesis is relationship to the light intensity. So do you remember 30 degrees Celsius?
Yeah.
See how that like makes a flat line? So looking at this data and this research I grabbed, what happens if it gets too hot? So if the light intensity is super high, does the rate of photosynthesis increase?
Yeah.
It does, but then it plateaus, it flattens out, right? So if we look at this, the ideal rate of photosynthesis is at 30 degrees Celsius. That'd be like right here. What about 50 degrees Celsius? That's less effective, right?
Yeah.
Because the graph gets flat. If it was super effective, the line would just go straight up. So actually, temperature or energy has a certain level. So it can only handle so much. All right, another limiting factor. Carbon dioxide, right? So if there's not enough carbon dioxide, the rate of photosynthesis is affected. Guess what the graph looks like? Now, what if it was hyper dense with photosynthesis? Or carbon dioxide. What happens to the photosynthesis? So let's say you eat something. Can you get, guys, if you got Thanksgiving coming up. If you go to a buffet and you think you can eat all the food, or you're going to be only limited to a certain amount. That's awesome. It's all you can eat, not you can eat it all, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the thing is you're limited. You only have certain capacities, right? So plants have certain capacities on how much carbon dioxide they can take in. What's the last one? On a sunny day, the carbon dioxide level is usually the limiting factor. Okay. So the last one, temperature. Oh, look at that one. Photosynthesis is controlled by enzymes. So if it gets too hot, what happens to the plant for photosynthesis? Totally. There's an ideal phase, and this is what we were talking about with temperature, with degrees Celsius. There's an ideal temperature, but anything past that temperature, it just falls off. So this is a very important graph to understand. Wink, wink. Photosynthesis, temperature. If it gets too hot, photosynthesis doesn't take place. If it gets too cold, it doesn't take place as much or as easily as it could be. So what do we do to accommodate this temperature? What do farmers or agriculturalists build to be able to control the environment?
Isn't it by the soil?
So 16.
Think about it.
12.
What structure? What are these called?
Greenhouse.
Greenhouses.
Just put one.
Right, exactly, a greenhouse. You can actually control the temperature by greenhouses. So you guys will see, if you go out to Central Valley, you'll see like rows and rows of these like plastic structures being developed that are over the crops. You guys seen that ever?
Yeah.
They're kind of white. They got UVC tubing. So they're able to kind of control the temperature that way. So that's one of these factors here. So it says above 40 degrees Celsius, enzymes become denatured and photosynthesis no longer can occur. So these are some of the things I want you to know. Limiting factors, what is meant by the term? We went over that. One more time, what are some of the 4 limiting factors in photosynthesis? Light,
Carbon dioxide and temperature.
temperature, and water.
We didn't go over water.
You just need those 4 things.
You did?
Yeah.
So, and then one of your questions will be able to say, if it's in the springtime or in the wintertime, what are some of the limiting factors to grow a plant?
Water.
Should I ask for you
Water.
closer?
These are questions that you may see on the test.
Go down.
You got a cell phone, snap a photo. Great. All right, guys, any questions on that?
Do I look like Sarah now?
We okay? Question, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Do I look like
Any questions on that? It's pretty simple. 3 things go in, 2 things come out in photosynthesis. Water, sunlight, carbon dioxide. What goes out is glucose and oxygen. Yep. What's that? Yeah, that's Mr. Matt.
Matt, how's that?
When
She already did.
where did he go? Just to use the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you
All right. Okay.